I just see that in there.
Yep.
What was that talking just
That was the
now?
whole thing. It kept repeating over and over again.
Yeah.
The Bryn Du Mansion has seen its share of prosperity and its share of despair in the past century. In 1905, the property was purchased by John Stuppen Jones after making his fortune in the railroad and coal businesses. Jones soon hired architect Frank Packard, and with the help of this famous architect, the mansion soon transformed into its current Georgian Federal-style design. During the Jones occupancy, the Bryn Du Mansion played host to American presidents Calvin Coolidge, William Howard Taft, and Warren G. Harding. John Stuppen Jones died in 1927, and his daughter, Sally Jones Sexton, soon inherited the property stemming from the death of her mother after just 3 years. Living on the estate while managing the family farm and the Granville Inn at only the age of 19, Sally soon became a local legend. But unfortunately, the responsibility deemed to be too much for her, and it was Sally that soon led the estate into utter bankruptcy. After losing the family fortune, Sally Jones Sexton had left Ohio, never to return to her once beloved home. Or did she?
Hey, Klaes, how you doing, brother?
Hey.
How you doing, man?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Doing good.
Been a while. Well, the Bryn Du Mansion, this whole area in Granville was developed by the Welsh. When John Stuppen Jones purchased the place, he renamed it the Bryn Du Mansion in Welsh, which it looks like it's Bryn Du. That's how we pronounce it, but
Okay.
it's really Bryn Du, and it stands for Dark Hills. He named it the Dark Hills Mansion.
So even way back then, before the house was even here, this had a dark,
Yes.
kind of eerie twist to this area.
Yeah, this was all government land that they paid the Revolutionary soldiers, and a lot of land companies came in and purchased it from the soldiers that didn't want the land, they wanted money. And this was all Indian country, Indian burial grounds. There's stories on this property of them farming, going through mounds, tilling up bones, all over the place, all over this area.
So let's see what's going on inside the house that they built on top of the dark hills.
Yes.
Okay? All right, after you, man.
Come on in.
So you brought out 3 of your team members here tonight to help us out with their investigation. Now, every one of you guys have had something happen to you in this building, right? Okay. What do we believe is still here as far as, ghosts?
Sally
spirits?
is definitely here, and we believe that her father, John Stuppen Jones, is still here. We've had a lot of contact with him.
So the father that had built this empire here locally, it kind of makes sense to him to be here. I mean, this is his pride. He's here out of pride. But Sally, she's the one that had let this empire slip through her fingers. She's here out of guilt. You know, this is almost, you know, like she let her family down when this, you know, she wasn't able to keep the family fortune or family home, and she was forced to move completely across country, right? She was gone.
And you know, it's kind of hard to you know, blame her. She was 19. You know, she took over this massive farm, thousands of acres, the Granville OH restaurant.
And she ended up not being able to handle it at the time?
No, from the time she was born till the time she was forced to sell it by the courts, she was there for 64 years.
So she was forced to sell because she was broke.
Yeah.
So she
went
this
through millions of dollars in that time, billions in today's dollars, and
it just disappeared.
yeah, she had to sell it to pay off her bill. She was like $6 million in the hole. She was actually indicted by the Licking County courts for 7 counts of writing bad checks, and eventually they made that go away because she paid off all of her debts by selling the house. But it got to the point where, you know, this originally was a 52-room mansion with 12 fireplaces. She was secluded into one small bedroom. That's all she could afford to heat.
Wow, so this huge, like, plantation-like land, you know, outside, this huge mansion, and she's living in one room because that's all she can afford to keep warm?
Right.
You guys have brought in the public and given ghost tours of the Bryn Du Mansion. And you guys have had actual people from the public have experiences here on these tours, correct?
Absolutely. Up on the second floor, they were had flashlights and you know, just digital cameras. They were wandering around a little bit, looking around, and they came running back down the stairs. They came to me, and they were like, "We just saw like a shadow of a woman crawling across the floor on the hallway of the second floor." They were completely freaked out.
Okay, so that's the second floor. Where was Sarah's room when she was down to that
on the second floor?
On the second floor. Okay. Now, there's also been a lot of photo evidence that you guys were able to unearth, and I mean that's what's got us to drive from New York to Ohio. Some of these pictures you guys have showed us. One of the most stunning ones is we have a woman that has her hair in a bun.
Right.
Okay. And actually, you're standing in that picture, aren't you? Okay. Did you know anything was going on behind you when that picture was there?
We had stuff going on in the room.
In the room?
We had like temperature fluctuations, like the K2s were off the charts.
Go for it. So we were on a public hunt, and there was a mother here with her young daughter back over this way. We were all sitting on the floor. The mother was in a chair, and all of a sudden the mom pops up and looks at the daughter and it's like, you know, why did you grab my ankle? And the little daughter's freaking out. She's like, I didn't grab your ankle. And the mom, you know, is freaking out. She's like, you know, you shouldn't do that. You scared me. And the little girl is still saying, you know, I didn't grab your ankle. So I'm like, okay, fine. You know, daughter, go ahead and grab your mom's ankle. And she does it, and mom's like, that's not what grabbed me.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this is a tour that you were giving for the public of the Bryn Du Mansion.
Yeah, back in February.
Just in February,
Yeah.
a couple months ago.
Absolutely, yeah.
I was doing a public ghost hunt. There's probably about 15 people here, and I was giving them the tour of the building. In the summers, one of the things I like to do when the weather's nice is walk out this door on the second floor porch. You know, I'll say something witty about, wouldn't you like to have breakfast in the morning out here with your football field worth of front yard, you know. I turned around to give the spiel to the 15 people, everybody was out there, and I see a woman in full dress here, right in front of this doorway, just walk over here and into this room that was the last room that Sally had back when she was starting to lose the place and could only afford to heat one room. And I immediately walked in here and walked in through the door, and there was no one.
I can't even describe it. It's someone grabbing my hat off. It was like it was shot off. That quick, and it landed just short of the wall.
Okay.
And I about knocked the camcorder over.
You were sitting here by yourself at that time?
Yeah, went into the wall, was cursing in languages I didn't even know I could curse in. And Marty had just missed it. He was coming up the steps, and I mean, it was one of the most startling things that ever happened.
This room is really active, and that's what I was saying. Like, we had nothing happen the first time we came here, all night, nothing. It was just like, why, you know, it was just one of the nights where, why are we here? And me and Marty were up here investigating by ourselves. We walked into this room, and we walked in on a male and female having a conversation. And we were both like, you know, me and Marty, and especially Marty, is very reserved. And we both kind of looked at each other like, what's going on? So we came down here, and as we're investigating, he had a camera set up over here, and the camera just took a nosedive and just came straight over. And we had all kinds of weird, like, activity with, like, sounding footsteps and voices in the room. We just couldn't pinpoint where it was.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you guys?
Doing all right? How are you?
Good, good. It's cold out there. So, this is it, huh?
This is the Bryn Du.
Now, when I entered the house, I was greeted by a man, older man. What stands out to me about him are these little round glasses. Little mustache. I'm trying to get the name, but the same name, the first letter of the same name is the same letter in the last name. Two same letters.
Yeah.
I felt like this was his home. Very proud man. This is my house, this is my house. Do you want to walk? Show me?
Sure.
What we're looking at
I
here?
gotta say, you're on the right track.
Okay.
Yeah, that would have been John Sutphen Jones, John Jones.
Okay, that makes sense.
He was Sally's father.
And he was one of the richest men in the United States back in the early 1900s. Very prominent man.
It was kind of odd on the way here, the car ride here. Took a little nap, it's a long drive. I got the name Sarah right off the bat. Just heard the name Sarah. I don't know if that means anything for this area.
No, as to Sarah, that's spot on.
Yeah.
When the primary residence here, her name was Sarah. She was called Sally a lot of times. But,
Actually, two.
yeah, two.
John Sutphen's first wife, who died of a horrible death of cancer in the house, was named Sarah. And then she never had any children. And when John Sutphen married his second wife, his oldest biological daughter, they named her Sarah, and they called her Sally also. So basically there was two Sarahs or Sallys that were here.
Okay. When I arrived here, I had to be honest, I was a little surprised. You got a gentleman out there, probably younger in age, maybe early 20s, mid 20s. And it was odd because he doesn't belong to this house. He doesn't belong to this land in any way. I feel like this could have been a recent death. And what, again, was odd to me, I guess, was his composure. Kind of staggering, maybe like he was on drugs or something, under the influence, but staggering and looking as though he was really, really cold, and then gone, just passed away. Like I said, it has nothing to do with this area or this house, but it feels like the death maybe occurred close to here. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if that means anything either.
Well, it was a case that Nick and I had talked about.
Yeah, recently a young man from Denison University had passed away. He was at a bar, left on a real cold night. None of the friends left with him. He was disoriented and he passed out and fell and froze to death. So that's probably who you're picking up on.
And I do get the letter D, first name, letter D. Could be David?
That's exactly what it was, David.
Okay.
You ever seen this guy before?
Yeah, that's the guy I was talking about. He walked like this, confused and cold, really cold, and then dead. Just like that. And I established his name was David.
Dead on.
It's dead on. There was actually a student from Denison University named David Hallman. And one night after a swim meet, it was last February, it's super cold, like the polar vortex and all that was going on. Leave him by himself, and he's trying to head home, and then he just starts, he gets really cold, disoriented, just wander around, and then just dies right in the snow outside.
Can I see that picture again?
Dies of exposure. and they didn't find him till later on. But
That's horrible.
yeah, so
That's horrible.
yeah, he died of exposure after getting disoriented and wandering around out in the cold.
I guess that makes sense. Like I said, I no connection, so I didn't know why I was out here. You didn't feel that?
What'd you feel in
The
there?
minute you walked in there, I felt like someone was gonna pop my head. Dizzy and sick. Oh man, I felt like I was gonna throw up. I just felt like someone took their 2 hands and just was smushing my head.
No, I don't like it back there. I'm not going back there.
What is it?
Creepy as all hell. I don't like it. Oh my god, it's so bad.
This is the room?
Back here, we see the light anomalies. Had a lot of luck with that.
Ashley,
Spirit box.
come here.
This one just keeps going on and on.
What?
Something literally just wrapped its hand around my waist.
Wrapped its hand around your waist.
What?
Wrapped its hand around your waist.
Yeah, like I felt my sweater move and everything.
He's down here with us. Right now, you just seem like a big bully.
Sometime this week.
Yeah, let's just all stick together right now. Whatever it is, it's after one person at a time.
All right, we came to you. What is your name? You got our attention. My name is Ashley. What is your name?
Why are you here?
Did you guys hear like a little shape?
Yeah, before, right before that.
Right before that voice.
Heard that?
I just heard that.
Did you grow up here? Was this your home?
No?
It's not their home.
What are they here for?
I'm not sure yet, but this is not their home.
Does it play here or what? Is there more than one of you here?
Just got bad news. Bad man.
Bad man?
Bad man. Who's the bad man?
What was that talking just
That was
now?
the whole thing. It kept repeating over and over again.
Yeah. That was like a full sentence over and over.
Yeah. We're recording this, right? Audio?
Yeah.
That came from the spirit box?
Yeah,
No.
over and over.
That was like, I heard that with my ears there.
Is the person that knocked off Eric's hat still here? Right here in this hallway.
Sally, I know it was you that knocked off my hat, and I know you're here.
Another female voice.
Yeah. You need to speak up. Is that you trying to get through? Can you tell the guy about all of your horses?
And there's another 5-degree change in temperature.
Mm-hmm.
Or when you said mention her horses. Now she used her horses and she did fox hunting.
Well, it was like the fox hunts, how they went, you know, kind of not an actual steeplechase, but they would jump over the bushes and go through obstacles and stuff like that. And she was really into that. But she did do a lot for the local kids around to teach them how to ride. And,
Yeah.
and I mean, she was good. She did give back to the community. Another 5 degrees. It should be a drop.
Is that you making the temperature change?
So every time we hear this loud pitch noise, there's a 5-degree temperature change at least.
Yes,
That's
and
a lot.
that's very odd. That's
It's happened 5 or 6
much.
times.
Very odd, and I can physically feel.
I feel a couple cold breezes.
I mean, I can feel physically feel it dropping. That's crazy, that temperature. It's just, I mean,
It just keeps happening.
look,
Oh yeah, look at that.
it's just goosebumps galore, the hair standing, and
So you believe that Sally's here right now, right?
oh yeah, she's there.
Sally, if you are here, can you please make yourself be known to us? Can you show us a sign of your presence, please?
I feel like a cold front over here. Yeah, for real, it's right here. Holy crap.
Is there anything that you want to tell us?
You hear a camera move?
No, walk downstairs. What are drinking right here?
It's still dropping.
I feel it like a cold spot, like right here.
I want to know, Sally, after your dad died and you were living here alone, did you know that your dad was here? While you were alive? Did he talk to you?
Or did you feel alone? Did you not feel like he was there?
He said, talk to me.
Do you know where you are? Can you see us?
Stay.
Are you lonely?
Are you trapped here, or do you choose to be here?
Trapped.
That said trap.
That's a trap.
That gave us chills. That said trap.
That
Totally heard that.
was clear as day.
Oh.
That's a trap.
Yeah, that says trapped.
This is
In
where
here,
people get
pinching.
grabbed?
Yeah. This
Great.
chair right here is where the mom's ankle was grabbed. And then Kelsey from our group was sitting right about here in the floor. Whenever that got pinched and she stood up and like scooted over to the other side.
Let's put a K2 down. Let's get a ghost box session. And the recorder on. It's recording. So is there somebody up here that likes to play games? Likes to maybe touch people or pinch people? That's what you're up to. There you go.
You're figuring it out. Good job.
That's awesome. Are you Sally?
Can you tell us why you're here?
Scared?
Are you scared of something?
Do you get a lot of visitors here?
Is somebody just walking?
It's Ashley.
Nope.
Ashley pounding on the floor, tapping on the floor.
I'm tapping on the floor?
You didn't hear that tapping on the
Just
floor?
heard it
next to
again.
you?
I thought that was you, David.
No, I thought that was Ashley.
I thought it was you at the table.
No.
Who's walking around in here?
Are you upset, Sally? Are you mad? Do you feel bad about what happened?
Yeah.
Yes.
Was that you, Sally?
Yes.
Is there anything we can do to help you? Did you guys just see that in there?
Yep.
It looked like something went right across the window. Do you know Sally? Who Sally is?
If you know who Sally is, can you make these lights go all the way up to red?
Yeah, he's trying.
Keep trying, you're doing so good.
There you go.
Just a little more.
All the way up. Come on. You can do this.
You only have 2 more lights to go.
Are you upset or sad about something? You are?
Someone walking around over there.
You miss somebody? Are you missing somebody?
Is it them? It's gotta be them.
What are you sad about?
Hey, did you guys just come down the stairs?